Good morning, my beloved. It is Monday again. So excited to get to share with you again today. Today we're looking at changing the water. I don't know if you've heard the story, but if you take boiling water and you place a carrot in it, the carrot gets soft. If you take that same boiling water and you put an egg in it, the egg gets hard. And it's often related, and I've shared this story. What are you made of? Because of what the carrot and the egg are made of, they react differently to the boiling water. And I've often shared the story that the boiling water is called our life, our world. It's the same boiling water for all of us. And some people in the trials of life get hard, like the egg. And some people in the trials of life get soft. And it's a good story and it's a good analogy, and a lot of people get it. But I want to add a little bit to that and change the whole dynamics just a little bit. The egg gets hard, but doesn't change the water. The carrot gets soft, but doesn't change the water. But tea or coffee changes the water. You and I were meant to change the water, beloved. We were meant to change the world we've been placed in. We were meant to be thermostats and not thermometers. We were meant that when we were placed in a situation, that who we are as born again Christians, who we are as followers of Christ, would change the world that we're set in. Now, I've said this before and I want to share it again. I don't have a world platform. Biden isn't listening to me. Trump isn't listening to me. The politicians that make all the rules aren't listening to me. So I can't affect them. But I can't affect China either, or Africa, or Israel, because I'm not there. The people in China who are born again believers need to affect China. The people who are in Uganda, Africa, need to impact Uganda. I've got good friends in Uganda, um, Yasim and others, and Pastor Emma, who are changing Uganda. I can't change Scotland, but John Donnelly can. He's in that area. I can't change where I'm not, but I can change where I am, and so can you. You and I have the ability to literally be tea. That when you put the tea bag in the boiling water, what happens is you now call the water tea. It has the ability to change what was just water to something we now call tea. So let's change the water today. Let's go into our world with this idea that it's the same for everybody. We're all in the same fallen world. Nobody's in a Leave It to Beaver family anymore. We're all born in a world that was fallen and in trouble. And we all face bad people, angry people, frustrated people, depressed people, disappointed people, discouraged people. We all face those same things today. You're going to have the opportunity today to make a difference in the boiling water called life that you have been placed in at your job, at Walmart, at the restaurant. You have the opportunity to be the hands, the feet, the voice of Jesus. And so I encourage you today to realize the carrot can't change the water. The egg can't change the water, but the tea can change the water. Don't just get hard or get soft because of the boiling pot of life you're placed in today. Be tea. Be someone who changes the very life and atmosphere that you are placed in today. And you may say, well, how do I do that? The same way Jesus did, one person at a time. The same way the disciples did by showing up and speaking up and sharing their faith. You know, I've seen something in the body of Christ lately that bothers me, and that's that we've lost our heart for the lost. We no longer evangelize. At best, we put a track on the table when we at the restaurant, hoping they'll read it and get saved. But people don't get saved by tracts near as much as they do by individuals sharing their faith, just living their Christian life out loud, praying for their food, being a person of joy, sharing what God did for them that day to someone who may or may not be a believer but needs to hear there's a God that's moving in the lives of people today. You know, I shared yesterday in a location in Boswell that the people who are being listened to are those who are speaking. And the people who make a difference are those who show up. You and I have the ability today to show up at our job, to show up at Walmart, to show up at the restaurant as a Christian, as someone who brings light to the darkness. You know, light makes people feel safe when they're in the dark and helps lead them out of the darkness into a safe place where there's light. We have forgot how to be that light. We're so afraid of being rejected, we no longer share. But so what if you're rejected? At least that person had the opportunity to hear and make a decision so that they could never stand before God and say, I didn't know. They at least need the opportunity to turn Jesus down. Jesus made people mad or glad everywhere he went. And you're going to make people glad who come to the Lord because you shared your faith. And you may make that same person mad at one time, but then later they would make a decision for the Lord and they will be so glad that you shared what God has done in your life. And for people to see that because we're Christians doesn't make us perfect. We have flaws. We have bad days. We have times when we're not reflecting Christ really well. But being real is way more important than being right all the time. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best to live a life that reflects Christ to others. I want to change the boiling water I've been placed in. And what's interesting to me is all the major moves in our nation started with a grassroots movement, started with just a few people joining together and saying, enough. Somebody needs to stand up and make a difference. And they locked arms and, in essence, walked it out together, and it began to grow. I believe the third great awakening is coming and is moving now because people are linking together and saying, enough. I'm tired of 5% of our country pushing the agenda for the 95 other percent. Let's join together. Let's make a difference. Let's speak up and at least speak the truth in love and challenge thinking that is wrong. You know, I keep hearing, we just need to listen. We just need to be better listeners. And I truly believe we could get better at listening and that it would make a difference. The other side of that, though, beloved, is that if you think two and two is five, it doesn't matter how well I listen. You're wrong. And somebody needs to say two and two is four. So I encourage you and I today to step into our world and change the water. Love you all so much. Let me say hi to a few folks. Malachi, bless you. Irish Stevens, bless you. Portia, love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please share. Connie, Mary, Mary Lou, Gary, Jim, Stuart, Jimmy. You guys are so faithful. Love you so much. I know Karen will be watching later. Thank you so much. Please share. And if you get a chance and the Lord puts it on your heart, you know, you can go to my web page. There's a place there to donate. I'm encouraging people because again, I don't have a 501c3. This is the way, I make a living, as well as life coaching and other things that the Lord has placed in my life to do. And if I'm feeding you just like the restaurant, I would encourage you to pay where you're being fed. Thank you all so much. Go change the water.